Hello there.
Hey, good evening.
Oh, good evening. My name is John. What is your name?
My name is Omar, and I'm calling you from Turkey.
Hello, Omar. I am from South Africa. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. And tell me, why do you want to improve your English?
Why? Well, because I'm not satisfied about my speaking skill. That's why I'm here to improve my speaking skill, and I really like to have a conversation with foreign guys.
Okay, that is good. Do you intend emigrating to another country?
I was born in Germany, but I'm living in Turkey right now.
Okay, and your English, where do you want to use your English? Omar, did you hear
I'm
what
here.
I said? Where do you want to use your English? Do you want to use it in Turkey or do you want to use it in another country?
Okay. First of all, I'm here to, we have a job interviews section. That's why I choose that, because every time when I use Cambly, I always pick up a conversation. We have a random talk, and I think this time I would like to have a conversation about job interviews.
Okay, I see this topic that's on the screen here that says
Yes.
22 interview questions with answers.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I may have that here. Just a second. Mine says 22 most common interview questions and best answers. Something similar. All right. I'm
Yeah.
just trying to see now. All right. What is your first question on your list? Let me hear.
Okay. The
Otherwise-
first question is,
Yes.
tell me about yourself.
It's the same one. I've got it open right here in front of me. Okay.
By the way, just letting you know, I have just 10 minutes left.
That's fine. That's fine. Most interviews are very similar. You just don't know what to expect. And I had a look at this list. If you go through this list, you should be able to cope with most interviews. Okay, let's start with the first one. The first question is, tell me about yourself. Now, I'm going to give you a guideline. Because it's a general interview for a specific job, that may sound contradictory. In the beginning, to set you at ease, the interviewer will want to know something about you. And what you can do is, I'm clicking on this answer now. What you can do is you can basically give him a summary about where you grew up, where you went to school, where you went to university, and any particular thing that stands out. Were you good at sport? Did you show leadership characteristics? Let's look at the first answer where it says, tell me about yourself. Now, because I want you to do some speaking, I want you to read it, please. Can you read it?
The first one?
Yes, the first one, tell me about yourself, where it says your interviewers will likely start out with a question about yourself. Please read it.
Okay. Wait, but okay. Your interviewers will likely start out with a question about yourself and your background to get to know you. Start out by giving them an overview of your current position or activities, then provide the most important and relevant highlights from your background that make you most qualified for the role.
Okay, stop there. Now, this example probably won't be suitable for you, but you use it as an example. Prepare your own little background story. Where you grew up, where you went to school, something about your family, something about your town. If you went to university, what you liked about it. Did you participate in sport? so that they can find out something about what kind of person in general you are.
Okay. Firstly, I was born in Germany, and I was raised in Germany, and I lived there for 8 years. I went to primary school, kindergarten. Then in 2006, I turned back to Turkey, and I went to high school there. It's the country where I got my friends, and my family are still live in Germany, but I'm living here in Turkey. Now I'm in university in a third grade. I'm studying nursing, but we can imagine that that I'm graduated from university and I'm finally in job interview. So I'm graduated from Ege University, and it's a university in Turkey, city of Izmir. And my greatest value, what was example, to work independently. Yeah, I cannot work under the pressure. That's I think I can be honest at this part. And
Okay,
what
stop
can I
there,
say?
stop there, stop there. That is good enough. You've got the right idea. Prepare your own little story. Now, when it comes to where you said, for instance, you now said something about you can't work under pressure. Never say anything negative about yourself. During the interview, you will have an opportunity to highlight your strengths and your weaknesses. Your strengths you emphasize, your weaknesses you mention one or two, preferably just one. And then you say, for instance, I don't work easily under pressure, but don't leave the negative there. Say something positive about this negative thing. Say, but I'm working on it. I make a conscious decision to handle each pressure, each situation that puts pressure on me. I do my best to take it one step at a time, or whatever it is that you do, and this eliminates the pressure and enables me to do a good job every time. Whatever the negative is, turn it into positive. I have a problem. I'm not always punctual, but I'm working on it. I bought myself a watch or something like that.
Okay, I got it. So I have to be kind for them, right?
Yes, in other words, be kind to yourself. In other words, tell them there may be a shortcoming, but you are working on it. Let's do the second one. How would you describe yourself? Now, I want to tell you just within a minute that we've been speaking, you can communicate in English. You are enthusiastic. You are ambitious. Now, those are just three qualities I pick up straight away. But you have to convey that to your interviewer. Now, please read point number 2 when an interviewer asks you. Read it.
To talk about yourself, they are looking for information about how your qualities and characteristics align with the skills they believe are required to succeed in the role. If possible, include how can I read this?
Quantifiable. In other words, say things that you can prove. Say things that you can quantify, that you can say something about. You can say, I'm at university and I'm studying A, B, and C. I took a course and I passed a course in, let's say, first aid. And here's my certificate, and I obtained a certificate. Quantify what you are saying. In other words, back it up. Okay.
Let me go on. Results to demonstrate how you use your best attributes to drive success.
Okay, let's talk about that. Once again, because our time is limited, you can read the example yourself, but prepare something now that applies to you. For instance, tell them something about your qualities and your characteristics.
Okay, let me say just 3 things about myself. I am very enthusiastic person. I'm very ambitious, and I'm so energetic.
Yes,
Something
and
like
you
that,
love
right?
people. You love and you care about people. That's why you're a nurse, because you
Yes.
care.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. It makes sense because I'm nurse. Yeah, that's okay.
Now, at the same time, when you describe yourself, brag a little, boast a little, but only slightly, just a little bit. Tell them about your qualifications. Tell them
Okay.
that you have a certain skill, if you
Okay.
have it, of course. But if you have something that will impress them, tell them about it.
Okay. So I have to say more about myself with the features and other things.
Yes, because I'm now using the guideline that they've now given us here. You must give them information about your qualities. You are reliable, you are honest, you're enthusiastic, etc. Characteristics in line with the job that you are applying for and with the skills that they are looking for. I don't even know what job you're applying for, but you must prepare your own little statement so that when you sit there in front of them, you have an idea of the information you're going to give them. Okay?
Okay. I've
I
got
think
this.
we have about a minute or two,
Yep.
and I want to go on to part 3. Quickly look at
Okay.
part 3 and just read it, and we'll talk about that.
Okay. What makes you unique? It's I think it's very cliche question that they're asking for us. So I have to talk about the specific things about myself, right?
Yes, well, that's the guideline on this article. You can, of course, you can change it. For instance, you can say what is unique about you in a very humble way. You see, you don't think you are better than other people, but let's just read okay, I'll read it quickly. Employers often ask this question to identify why you might be more qualified than other candidates they are interviewing. To answer, focus on why hiring you would benefit the employer. Very important. Since they don't know the other applicants, since you do not know the other applicants, to think about your answer in relation to them. So don't worry about them. Addressing why your background makes you a good fit will let employers know why your traits and qualifications make you well prepared. You are a nurse with this background. You care about in a certain area. You stand out. Highlight that so that they can see you are unique. And the idea in an interview is to stand out, because you're only going to get the job if they think you are the best candidate. And you must sell that uniqueness that is about Omar.
Thank you for this beautiful conversation, and it was a good practice for me, even though we don't have enough time. But I will read the rest of the article,
Yes.
and I will prepare my own sentences.
That's
Maybe if
good.
you like, I can have a reservation for you to have a conversation again. And thank you for your help.
My pleasure. Let me make a suggestion. Prepare your little items under each heading.
Okay, I will do this.
And I think you read it to me and I will comment. That's the best I can do for you. But I would like to help you with it.
Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to see you again.
Okay,
Thank
Omar.
you. Take
Goodbye.
care. Thank
You
you.
too.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.